which was the lowest attended game among the opening 6 matchups in group play. This had some observers wondering if the presence of Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese would have the stands packed for Team USA. They drew the worst crowd. Team USA draws the lowest attendance. How's it feel? With her passing ability, she could have made things happen. Then she would have drawn excitement and eyeballs, and people the world over would have been watching.
Which was the lowest attended game among the opening 6 matchups in group play, and this got some people wondering, would the presence of Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese have packed the stands? Team USA pulled in the lowest attendance. How does that feel? With Clark's passing ability, she could have made things happen, brought excitement, and caught the attention of fans all around the world. Stephen A. Smith just dropped a bombshell on Team USA basketball. Can you believe they left Caitlin Clark off the Olympic roster? The same Caitlin Clark who's been lighting up the WNBA and drawing record crowds. Smith didn't hold back, and now everyone is asking, did Team USA make the biggest mistake of the year? Let's talk about Caitlin Clark for a moment. Have you seen what she's been doing lately? She's not just good, she's changing the game. In college, she was breaking records left and right, but it's not just about the numbers. It's about the way she plays, the excitement she brings, and how she's got everyone talking about women's basketball. Now, you might be thinking, sure, she was great in college, but can she hang in the pros? Well, let me tell you, Caitlin Clark isn't just hanging, she's dominating. Since joining the WNBA, she's been packing arenas like no one else, averaging over 16,000 fans per game. That's not just good, that's league-leading. Remember the WNBA All-Star Game this year? It wasn't just popular, it was a record-breaker. 3.4 million viewers, that's a 300% increase from last year. And guess who was right in the middle of all that excitement? Now, let's put this in perspective. Clark isn't just drawing crowds. She's bringing in the kind of attention usually reserved for top NBA stars. We're talking packed arenas, skyrocketing TV ratings, and social media buzzing non-stop.
No. Team USA draws the lowest attendance. How's it feel?
Every time she steps on the court, people can't look away. So, here's where it gets interesting. With all this buzz, all this excitement, and all these records being broken, how is it possible that Team USA didn't want Caitlin Clark on their Olympic roster? It's like having a Ferrari in your garage and deciding to take the bus. Stephen A. Smith nailed it when he said Caitlin Clark is box office. It matters whether you like it or not. And he's absolutely right. In today's world, being a great player isn't just about what you do on the court. It's about the excitement you generate, the fans you bring in, and yes, the money you bring to the sport. The Olympics are all about showcasing the best of the best. It's about bringing athletes together who can not only compete at the highest level, but also capture the world's attention. Caitlin Clark should have been on that team, ahead of the 12 players selected before her. Team USA draws the lowest attendance. How does that feel? And right now, there's nobody in women's basketball capturing attention quite like Caitlin Clark. Now, let's talk about Team USA's recent performance in international competitions. You might think they've been dominating as usual, right? Well, not exactly. They've had some close calls and even a few shocking losses. Remember the 2019 FIBA World Cup? Team USA finished 7th. That's not just disappointing. It's a wake-up call. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. The struggles aren't just about wins and losses, it's about how they're playing and who's watching. Let's look at their opening game against Japan in the recent tournament. Ready for this? Only 4,500 fans showed up. That's not a typo. 4,500 fans for Team USA. Now, you might think that's normal for these games, but nope. Not even close. Other teams in the same tournament, like Spain and China, packed arenas, with 27,000 and 21,000 fans, respectively. But Team USA, with all their star power, couldn't even fill a high school gym. So, what's going on here? Is it just bad luck, or something missing from Team USA's roster? Let's break it down. They've got plenty of talent, no doubt, But when you look closely, you start to see some gaps. They're missing that spark, that player who can not only dominate on the court but also draw in crowds and light up social media. You know who could fill that gap? Yep, Caitlin Clark. We're talking about a player who's not just good.
And you're not going to get around that. That is what I said. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? That's why you should have had Caitlin Clark.
She's a game changer. She's the kind of player who gets people excited about women's basketball in a way we haven't seen in years. And the Olympics are the biggest stage in sports. It's where legends are made, where the whole world is watching. Team USA had a chance to showcase one of the most exciting young players in the game, but they passed on it. It's like having a secret weapon and deciding not to use it. Stephen A. Smith nailed it when he said Team USA's low attendance, especially compared to other teams, is embarrassing and reflects poorly on the selection committee for not including marketable players like Caitlin Clark. He's not just talking about filling seats. He's talking about missed opportunities. Imagine Caitlin Clark on that Olympic court. Picture her making those incredible long-range shots, threading impossible passes, and getting the crowd on their feet. That's the kind of excitement Team USA is missing right now. That's the kind of player who could turn empty seats into a packed house. Let's talk about the real issue here. Marketing. Stephen A. Smith hit the nail on the head when he said marketing matters in everything. Promotion matters in everything, and you can't get around that. He's not just blowing hot air, he's pointing out a huge missed opportunity for Team USA. Think about it. The Olympics aren't just about winning medals. They're about showcasing the best athletes in the world and getting people excited about sports. Right now, there's no one in women's basketball generating more excitement than Caitlin Clark. Remember those attendance numbers we talked about earlier? The Indiana Fever, with Clark leading the charge, is averaging over 16,000 fans per game. That's not just good, it's 4,000 more than the next closest team. Can you imagine the kind of buzz she could bring to Team USA? But it's not just about filling seats, it's about creating a global brand. The NBA figured this out years ago. They didn't just send their best players to the Olympics, they sent their most marketable stars. Remember the Dream Team? It wasn't just about winning gold, it was about spreading basketball fever around the world. Team USA had a chance to do the same thing with women's basketball. They could have showcased Caitlin Clark on the biggest stage in sports, but instead, they're missing out. They're missing out on the merchandise sales, the increased viewership, the sponsorship opportunities. They're missing out on the chance to turn casual viewers into die-hard fans. In today's world, where attention is currency, that's a costly mistake.
Speaking of NBC's Mike Tirico, South Carolina coach Dawn Staley said Clark's chances of making the team would have been a lot higher if she and her fellow committee members were selecting the roster today rather than several weeks ago. Caitlin Clark is just a rookie in the WNBA. Wasn't playing bad, but wasn't playing like she's playing now. If we had to do it all over again, the way that she's playing, she would be in really high consideration of making the team because she's playing head and shoulders above a lot of people.
You might be thinking, but isn't it just about the best players? Sure, skills matter, but in international competition, star power matters too. It's about fielding a team that can not only win on the court but also win hearts and minds around the world. Stephen A. Smith gets this. He's not just thinking about the next game or tournament. He's thinking about the future of women's basketball. He's thinking about how to grow the sport, how to get more people interested, how to turn it into a global phenomenon. And that's where Caitlin Clark comes in. She's not just a great player, she's a walking, talking, three-point shooting marketing machine. She's the kind of player who can make people fall in love with the game, and Team USA just left her on the bench. So why exactly did Team USA leave Caitlin Clark off the roster? Some say it's about experience. Clark's still young, and international play is a whole different ballgame. Others argue it's about team chemistry. Maybe they think she doesn't fit the system. But here's the thing. Are those reasons good enough to pass on a player? Who's changing the game? Let's talk about Clark's playing style. Have you seen her on the court? She's not just a scorer, she's a playmaker. Her passing is off the charts. and she can hit shots from anywhere. Imagine that kind of creativity in international play, where every possession counts. Clark could be the spark that lights up Team USA's offense. But it's not just about what she can do, it's about what she represents. She's the future of women's basketball. Leaving her off the team isn't just a missed opportunity for now, it's a missed chance to build for the future. Coach Dawn Staley even said Clark's chances would have been higher if the selection had occurred later. That's a big hint that something needs to change. Speaking to NBC's Mike, South Carolina, Coach Dawn Staley said Clark's chances of making the team would have been a lot higher if she and her fellow committee members were selecting the roster today rather than several weeks ago. Caitlin Clark is just a rookie in the WNBA. She wasn't playing badly, but she wasn't playing like she is now. If we had to do it all over again, the way she's playing now, she'd be in high consideration to make the team. So, what's the fix? Maybe it's time for Team USA to shake things up. What if they started looking at more than just experience? What if they considered star power, marketability, and the ability to grow the game? It's not about throwing out the old system. It's about adapting to a changing landscape. Experts are weighing in, and they're not holding back. They're saying Clark's presence could be a game changer for Team USA. It's not just about winning games, it's about winning fans.